Senator Roberts.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms Rogers, for appearing today. Thank you for what you're doing. The work you're doing is very, very important. I also want to acknowledge the fact that you have had a father, siblings, son. Is there anyone else I missed?
Yes, I have a husband that served for 30 years.
That's right. Thank you, thank you. And did I hear you correctly? I might not have been paying complete attention. That you lost a son to action?
No, I didn't lose a son. My son was a field first aider in Afghanistan with 7RAR, and he did Afghanistan, Iraq, and Timor, and he was commendated for saving the life of 5 Afghan nationals.
Thank you. Coming back to Senator Fawcett's question and your answer, specific criteria are necessary to make things objective, make award objective. I get that. Don't you also need flexibility for unique circumstances? Because things today are not the same as they were in the trenches at Gallipoli or in Europe back in the First World War. Providing that flexibility is justified and comes with justification. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And I do agree with that. I mean, like you said, there are special circumstances. I mean, may I say, can I just bring up an incident last week up towards Lismore? I mean, that's special. To me, that's special circumstances where we had a military accident. I mean, because we do have them in peacetime while they're in training. So with that type of flexibility, yes, I would actually support that, because, like I said, there are special circumstances.
Yes, with justification, because we can't know everything that's going to happen.
No.
In point 5 of your submission, you mentioned the psychological impact of disparity. We've heard evidence in this inquiry from soldiers who served in the most elite tiers of our special forces. They've been in the highest stress and highest risk environments anyone could imagine. In fact, difficult to imagine. They have had to fight for recognition. They shouldn't have had to, and I imagine many would give up that fight. Given we've just had the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide, can I ask you to please explain the link between unfairness in awards and honours and psychological harm?
Well, those personnel that serve in very high risk areas, I mean, and one of the units that come to mind is one that they may not even be home for 2 to 3 months, 4 months, and they may do a lot of deployments for a lot of years. But it's the mental toll that they don't get recognised, not just on the soldier but the family, because the family sees them going overseas, they put their lives at risk, they come back, the husband might have pillow talk and just say, oh, look, such and such got an award. Why didn't we get recognised, or I get recognised, or my mate get recognised? So that has an impact just not on that soldier but on other soldiers or other personnel, but also the family unit. And, you know, and when you see someone getting it for an award for something that they did in a Q store, and sorry, I don't mean to be, a little bit discriminative here, but good work. There's other awards out there within the military system, like, I used to be called Soldiers Medallion, was given to personnel in those days for recognition within the home base, without having to be given a high military honour. And I've seen it happen over the years, and it does. Psychologically, it takes a toll on personnel for that reason.
Thank you. Could you go more to the link, or explain the link between unfairness in awards? Perhaps you could describe the feelings in soldiers that perceive that unfairness and the need that's not being met that leads to their psychological harm. What are the needs not being met?
The needs that not being met is probably recognition for their hard work and their skills. They're not valued equally. And they have a sense of betrayal as well. But it's the mental and burnout. I mean, you keep going out on, and to me, burnout is not PTSD. Burnout is a different form of mental health. But it is also, if they see this on a day-to-day basis, or on a, you know, within the award system, the personnel don't feel as if, like I said, they don't feel as if their skills are valued. And as you said, there's a lot of members that are leaving the Defence Force. We've got highly skilled members that leave the Defence Force because they're disillusioned. They're not just disillusioned, but they've had enough of the day-to-day mental anguishes within the Defence Force. And I think there's a lot more we can address with mental health within Defence members. I've nursed my son twice through post-traumatic stress, and I mean literally twice. And when I say I've nursed him through it, it is he was put back into our care. And then when he was put back into our care, we had to be the psychologist, we had to be the minds person, we had to take doors off, he wasn't allowed to shower on his own, he wasn't, you know, and for a 29-year-old male at the time, that's very, very degrading, but that's more on the mental health side of the other. And a lot of that was because when he was in overseas deployments, it was the recognition of someone higher than them that actually just sat in the office and, yes, he commanded. But, and I know it's a tough job to command and to do this and bring our boys and girls home safe, but to be recognised, just to be recognised for something that they have done out of outside the realms of their training or whatever, does have a mental impact on them.
Thank you so much for trusting us to share that personal experience. It must have been very difficult for you as a mother.
It was very difficult, and at the time we were just lucky that he was posted to Singleton as a trainer, and we were very lucky that we had a great CO and a regimental sergeant major that helped us through it.
Thank you. Do you think there could be merit in, in taking awards and honours to a body independent of the chain of command and independent of politics?
I think there needs to be a board or a committee formed, but it needs to have military personnel on there that know what is happening with the combats of war, you know, what happens within the combats of war, understand what the actual criteria is for all the awards. I do think it needs to come away from politics, but our Governor General still needs to be involved in this. And also maybe have on some of the committees I'm on within the Singleton area, we actually have a representative, say, from a senator or someone else, but they've got to apply, just like with the resume, and have, you know, like it might be a policy that, you know, one of your policy areas that they put you into that position. But to me, it should be like for like. It should be someone that's got life skills, someone that has, as my father used to say, been there, done that. It's not an easy. If someone doesn't understand the military and everything else that goes with it, then it makes it harder and harder all the time. But if you've got someone that has the knowledge of military and but you must have your governing head, as you know, because they're the ones that the awards are given out from.
Thank you. Last question, Chair. So transparency, Ms Rogers, is vital. Even if the independent body came to the same decision that's been made today, it could be psychologically beneficial if that person feels like it's been dealt with independently and fairly. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. That is definitely correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chair.